just know the world has enough space for you. Take up space. Okay. Y'all, I totally forgot to film an intro for this video. So here I am after getting my nails done filming this. Anyways, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about idolizing hyperindependence, because I feel like in our society we have a little itty bitty problem with wanting to carry the whole entire world on our shoulders when we weren't built for that. We were not built for that. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, being independent is fine. Being independent is fine. You should aim to be an independent person. I don't care if you got a boyfriend, if you got a girlfriend, if you got if you're married, if you're engaged. I don't care. Being an independent person by yourself is a goal. Being hyper independent is a trauma response. Like leaning into, oh, I don't need anyone. I don't want to need anybody. Getting a little bit into trauma. Yeah, that's caused by some trauma. That is caused by some trauma. Now, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on my channel. Do you guys know that I have a psychology degree? Yeah, I have a BS in psychology. And so I enjoy learning about human behavior. Literally, my capstone was on attachment styles and their effects on long-term relationships. So, social science girly here. Okay. Hyperindependence is usually very tightly knitted into having an avoidant attachment style, which avoidant girly here. I have an avoidant attachment style. Your attachment styles come from how you were raised, like how you interacted with your parents. And so when I was younger, I love my parents. Let me preface this by saying I love my parents down, okay? But both of my parents had harder childhoods where their emotional needs weren't always met. And so my emotional needs weren't always met as a child. They did their best, because I mean, when you're a parent, like we got to give your parents grace. When you're a parent, you are living, like, you're living this life for the first time. You don't know how to be a parent. There's no like step-by-step way of how to be a parent. So everybody's parent messes them up in some way, because we're not perfect. And parents don't often find out how they mess their children up a little bit until the kids grow up. So, you know, I love my parents, but your girl would shut down and go into her room whenever I felt strong emotions. And so that's why I have an avoidant attachment style. And what that led to was me not expecting support from people. It led to me not wanting to ask for help. Even in school, I was just like, okay, if I don't understand something, like, I'll ask my best friend. And if I don't get it after that, like, I'll just figure it out myself. I'll go on YouTube to figure this out. But I do not want to go to the teacher, because what if they just think I'm stupid? Like, which is so stupid, because, like, girl, that's what the teacher is there for. I digress. Also, being hyper independent, it can lead to self-sabotage, especially self-sabotaging healthy relationships, because you're just like, okay, I've never been in this before. You know, why are you being so supportive? Why are you trying to help me? Like, I don't want to have to need you for anything, which is how I used to be. A lot of it, for me at least, was rooted in not wanting to need somebody for something. Like, I wanted to be able to do absolutely everything by myself and have like my own world in the palm of my hand. which is like so, which can literally lead you to like self-destructing low key, because life be throwing stuff, like life be lifing. Life will throw anything and everything at you. So to think that you can have absolute and total control over your life is unwise. I'm just going to say that. It's a very unwise thought process. And it's something that I had to start like breaking down for myself. And I know like younger girls watch me. And so if you're getting into these thought patterns, like, oh, I don't need anyone, I got this. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Because when life gets to life in, you gonna need somebody. Break it down even further of how my hyper independence like affected me was growing up. I didn't date a lot. First off, I actually did not date a lot. So I had a boyfriend in high school. I had a boyfriend in college. Would like talk to people here and there, but before my fiance, I basically had like 2 boyfriends. I kind of feel bad for them because I would literally let them know like this isn't going anywhere. Like I would date guys that I knew I wasn't gonna take beyond this section of my life. And they pretty much knew like, yeah, after this is over, I'm gonna be fine. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be fine because I don't actually need you. Which, okay, that was very like very rude, very selfish. I understand. You don't have to say that in the comments because I get it. I understand. I had to break out of that. So I would pick people that weren't emotionally available like that had really toxic relationships with their parents, especially their mothers, because I don't know what was in the water that I was drinking. I have no clue. I had no clue. I was dating the same person in different fonts. I don't know. But yeah, I would just date people that I didn't see a future with because I was just like, I don't need you. Like when this is over, I don't want to be hurt like that. You know, I don't want to be in shambles. And so we can date for a second, but after this, so it caused me to like hurt people, because I was hurt, because I was just like, no one's gonna support me, no one's gonna listen to me, no one's gonna, like, literally high school boyfriend was like, your emotions literally don't matter. And so just being around people that reiterated things that I already thought was toxic. In friendships, I would be the friend that you could tell everything to. I would be the friend that would listen to all of your problems. If you want advice, I'll give it to you. But like, I didn't expect my friends to actually do that for me. And so I didn't actually give them the room to do that for me. I never gave my friends the opportunity to give that support back to me. And so now I'm just reiterating like, oh yeah, no one supports you. No one wants to listen to your problems. Like, just take it home, write it in your journal, forget about it. But I wasn't giving people the opportunity to be there for me. And I would also just like totally isolate from my friends whenever I was going through something. They'll be like, oh, we haven't talked in, a week. Sorry, going through stuff. Don't want to talk. But I'm literally like taking away their chance to be there for me. And then how I started to see myself was just, I started becoming anxious and just saying to myself, like, no one wants to support you. No one wants to hear your stuff. Like, no one wants to hear you talk. I was really quiet, and I'm still actually very quiet. I'm not a yapper in real life. Yeah, I started developing anxiety. Like anxiety is just an unhealthy way of protecting yourself. Like you're thinking about every single bad thing that could happen and trying to protect yourself from it. And it's just like, when you start to go down the rabbit hole of what ifs, it is so hard to dig yourself out of that. It gets so hard to dig yourself out of that. Now me, to dig myself out, personally, I pray. I'm a praying girl. If I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna pray and cry. Okay. I literally just saw myself as a burden. Like if everything wasn't 100 with me, I saw myself as a burden on people. And I was just like, let me isolate. Let me go in my room. Like, saw myself as like not good enough. Huge procrastinator. I'm literally still breaking out of procrastination because my thing is like, if things aren't perfect, I don't want to do it. And perfection doesn't exist. We're humans. Perfection is not a thing. You can always find something wrong with something. And so that's just how my hyper independence kind of affected and kind of still creeps into my life. I'm starting to break out of it. Like I'm 26 and I'm starting to break out of it. And these are a couple of the things that I've had to force myself to do in order to break out of it. For me, step one was admitting that I need help. Like I need support, and absolutely like taking a butcher knife to the idea that no one wants to help you, no one wants to support you, no one wants to be there for you. Because my thing is, even on like the smallest scale, there is always going to be someone that wants to help you. Even if you're simply at the grocery store looking for something and a worker sees that you're looking for something, like they might get the unction to, oh, let me go over here and see what they're looking for. And just admitting to myself like, oh girl, you don't have the whole, like, you don't have the whole entire world on your shoulders. Even if you could have that, why would you even want the whole world on your shoulders? Why would you want that? That's very heavy. I know you don't want that. I didn't want that, but that's just me. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you might not want that either. But hey, let me not make assumptions. My bad. Moving on. The second thing that was important to me was actually realizing that I'm worthy of help. I'm worthy of someone servicing me. Okay. And what actually helped me with this was TikTok. Seeing all the soft life girlies getting their nails and hair and just being pampered. Now, that's expensive. On a smaller scale, realizing that like when I'm out and about, let me actually allow people to help me. Like, let me, instead of going to self-checkout, let me go to the service line and let them bag my groceries for me. Or let them bag whatever I got. Because, child, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to go right there to a Target and pick up some random stuff for no reason. But I digress. What I'm saying is, don't take away people's ability to help you. Like if you're walking, if you're out and about and someone wants to open a door for you, let them open it. If you have an opportunity to turn your brain off, turn it off. Okay. And that's something that I had to learn with my now fiance, because he loves to help your girl out. Okay. One of my top love languages is acts of service, and he knows that. And your girl is serviced. And of course, I'm not saying like, oh, just be a pretty princess all the time. Like, don't help anyone out ever again in your life. Like, no, this is not selfishness. But like, reciprocation is very much important. What I'm saying is give people space to help you out just how you would help out someone else, because you deserve that space for someone to help you out just how you help out others. Okay. Moving on to number 3. The third thing that I've been practicing and that I've been internalizing is appreciating vulnerability, appreciating it, practicing it, and not having expectations on how the other person is going to take it. Like, if I have emotions that I gotta get out, not like in a trauma dump type of way, but if I have an issue with something, bringing it to the person in a respectful way, because that's how I want people to come to me. Like, if they got an issue with me, bring it to me in a respectful way. So bringing the issue to someone in a respectful way, but also not neglecting my feelings, and also not having expectations for the other person, because I feel like sometimes we bring emotions to people and we have expectations on how they're going to take it. And then if we get rejected, we're just like, oh, I'm never doing that again. If they take it in like a toxic way, if they start, gaslighting and things, we take it as like a punch to our inner self, like at the core of ourselves. When really, when you present emotions to people, when you present your emotions to people, how they react says a lot more about them than it says about you. If this is a healthy emotional transaction, I guess I would say, knowing that the world has enough space for your emotions too. The world has enough space for you to express your emotions. You don't always have to be alone to express your emotions. Like, you don't always, especially if someone has done something hurtful to you, like, you can tell them. Don't dwell on it. You should forgive them. But just know the world has enough space for you. Take up space. Okay? Just know the world has enough space for you. Take up space. Okay? And while you're taking up space, also realize other people are taking up space, and be open to receiving. Again, be open to receiving as you are also giving. Be open to having your cup filled as you are filling others' cups. Okay? Anyways, moving on to the last thing, which is, I already said it basically, but like, forgiving. Because one thing that holding on to unforgiveness will do is it will create like the deepest wounds. It will have you triggered at the smallest things, and you don't realize why you're triggered. It's because you didn't forgive that person 7 years ago, and now you're just stacking on top of it. Forgiving those people that may have let you down is super important. Super important. Like, forgiveness is never, I'm not going to say forgiveness is never for the other person, but forgiveness is always for you. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 9.5 times out of 10, the other person is not holding on to whatever they did to hurt you. Whatever small remark they said, whatever they did to hurt you, the other person is probably not even holding on to it. Like, they've moved past it. I remember there was this one time in college where I was talking to one of my friends, and his friend was around as well. And I was basically saying like, oh yeah, I could see you as this fraternity. And his friend was like, oh, what about me? Like, could you see me as one? And I was like, I don't know, not really. But I didn't think anything of it. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And then next thing you know, probate, my gosh, I can't talk today. Yes, I can. Next thing you know, probate season is upon us, and my friend crosses as what I said I could see him as. And then the other guy also crosses as what I said I couldn't see him as. I see them either immediately after the probate or like a few weeks later. I don't know. And he comes up to me. He was like, oh, so you couldn't see me as this? And I was like, I mean, congratulations. Like, I'm glad you crossed. It's just like, what? But it just showed like my small remark that I literally just said and moved past, that boy was holding on to it. He was holding on to it just to like come back and be like, oh, look at me. You said I couldn't do this. And I'm just over here like, yeah, congratulations. I'm happy for you. This is great. You know, forgiveness is for you. I'm not saying he was mad at me, but forgiveness is for you. Letting go of people that let you down is for you, because this world is so big, y'all. This world is so big. There is somebody that wants to support you. There's somebody that wants to help you. There's someone that wants to be in community with you. But you have to open yourself up to it, and you have to offload. Like you have to offload yourself in some way. You have to, whether it's emotionally, whether you are like a manager at your job and you just think, oh, I can do all of it. Offload some of the work. Delegate some of the work to other people. Okay? They'll get it done. If they want their paycheck, they're going to get it done. And that also comes with trusting other people, which trust issues, I have them. But the thing is, to trust, you have to trust and to love and to have community. You have to be open to disappointment, but also you have to be open to positivity. Everything's not just going to go left. Everything is not just going to go left. Things have to go right. That's just how the world works. Things have to go right. Yeah, you're here for a reason. Let people love you. Offload some of these, like the emotional baggage that you're carrying. Like, do not be the woman in Erykah Badu's bag lady. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video isn't too long, and hopefully you got something out of it. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful night whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for coming to my corner of the internet. Bye.